Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you, Kieran?
Yeah, great, thank you. Firstly, today, been signing, how has it been?
It's been great. It's been a great turnout. This venue is awesome. I don't know if you've ever been in here before, but it's class. Obviously, they got this little horror corner. Our poster is looking nice. But yeah, I mean, Covent Garden is a beautiful spot, and the turnout's been fantastic. People seem really enthusiastic about the film, so it's been wonderful.
So, Helloween, when did you guys start? You filmed this, it must have been a while now, if it's out.
About 2 years now, yeah.
How did it all start? How did you become a part of it?
Well, I was approached by the producer, Jonathan Southcott from Shogun Films. He'd seen a film that I'd done previously to that called Code of Silence, where I played the Cray twins. So the story goes, I mean, you'd have to ask him, but apparently once he saw that film, he decided that he needed to have me in the film, so he approached me about this, and it was certainly an interesting offer, yeah.
Well, it's a slasher, isn't it? I love a bit of good slasher, but when it came to wearing the makeup all the time on set, what was that like?
Well, once it was on, it was great because it really helped me get into character. But it was, 2 hours of every morning, which was at about 6 o'clock in the evening because we shot nights almost exclusively on this film. So it was a lot of work for myself and Melissa to sit there for the 2 hours, which I thought actually 2 hours for the makeup job that we were doing was not bad. But all the same, when you're filming nights, 2 hours at the start of every day is pretty labor intensive, but once it was on, it was brilliant. I could just look in the mirror and get into character like that because Carl Kane was stood in front of me. So,
actually, when it comes to continuity as well, because obviously, I guess if you've done a kill scene but you have to redo the shot, how was it quite challenging for the makeup artist and for yourself?
I mean, yes, is the simple answer to that. It was very challenging, and it was a case of constantly being on it for Melissa. She had to be watching the monitors and coming in and touching up all the time. And there were some times when things just got completely smeared and messed up, and we had to stop and reset and take a minute to redo the makeup. So obviously that's not ideal on a film when you're shooting so quickly and moving so fast, but to get it right and get the look in the film right, it's worth it.
When it comes to a slasher film as well, what's the best thing about filming a slasher film?
Oh, well, I mean, the best thing about filming a slasher film is that it's a slasher film, and you get to do lots of crazy, fun, gory stuff, and there's lots of fun action and scares and jump scares and blood splatters and all that stuff, and my character gets to really relish in all of that because he's the one person who's having tons of fun, Everyone else is really terrified and, running for their lives, but I'm just having a blast. So from an actor's perspective, it was great because I just got to, really let my hair down, really turn things up to 11. There was kind of no choice that was too big or that I couldn't consider. And so I just sort of took the brakes off completely, and it was great fun. So slasher, I highly recommend slashers to any actor who's considering.
So also offset as well, did you have fun? Did you scare anyone offset?
I was never intentionally scaring people on set because when I was walking around, I think I did a fairly decent job of scaring the shit out of people regardless. I would just come around the corner, like the location that we were filming in was dark and dingy, and I mean, you see it on screen, they make it, they turn that stuff up a little bit, but we weren't filming in the Ritz, you know what I mean? So you'd come around a creepy, dark, dusty corner in the makeup, and I'm just going to get a cup of tea, but I would absolutely, people would jump out of their skin. So I had to be mindful of the way that I walked around set and not try to scare people because I was doing a fairly good job without trying too hard. So
when it comes to highlight day as well, what would you say is your favourite day to a film?
Favorite day on
that stood out on filming days.
On this film? Yeah. I mean, I think for me, my favorite day, it's probably it's a toss-up between either the first day that we filmed, which was the cell scene that I shot with Michael Paré, because it was the first time that I let anyone see the character. So I hadn't shown the character to Phil, the director. I hadn't shown the character. I hadn't done rehearsals with the other actors. I hadn't let Michael see it. The crew hadn't seen it. No one had heard my voice. No one had seen the clown. So to get to unveil Carl Kane, as it were, in the moment on set when we rolled for take one and let everyone hear the voice and feel the presence of Carl Kane, that was a really great feeling to be able to do that with the crew. And then also because Carl's in his cell so much, the bit where I got to go out and shoot the home invasion stuff with Janine and with Caroline and Megan, the girls who played her daughters. That was a great opportunity for me as well, because it meant I get to get out of the cell and meet some of the other cast and crew, which is fun.
So for people that are fans of slasher films, what is it quite conventional? Are we going to be seeing like kind of the conventional step in a slasher film?
So what you can expect is lots of nods to your favorite Halloween horror movies of the past. There's nods to Halloween, there's nods to The Purge, there's nods to all sorts of stuff. But we really work hard to maybe try to put a different spin on that, a bit more of a modern take, and something that tries to, even though it's working within the tropes of the genre, tries to say something new and something interesting about it as well. So it's definitely, I think, like a very knowing horror. The people that made it were aware of the film that they were making. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to make some big social commentary. But at the same time, I think horror has always been a great genre to like squeeze interesting social questions and issues into, and I think we try to do that a little bit while keeping it still popcorn friendly and spooky season stuff.
And if you had a favourite scene that you think the audience will like, without giving too much away, what scene would that be?
Well, for me, my favourite scene again would have to probably be the moment that Carl Kane meets Michael Parry's character, John Parker, because it was this great opportunity for two actors who've never met each other before to have this incredibly tense moment and this intense scene, and really like get to play with each other in a way that it was new for both of us because we both started the film recently. So, yeah.
And then lastly, what else can we expect from you in the future?
Well, right now, I mean, in terms of the cross-pollinations of the things that I do, because I'm a bit of a 21st century actor in that way, in that I do a lot of game stuff, I do a lot of movie stuff, I do a lot of voiceover, and the big release that I've got coming up at the end of the month as well as this is Bloodlines 2, Vampires the Masquerade, which is part of the World of Darkness series, where I'm playing one of the playable lead characters in that. I'm playing Fabian, who's the vampire who lives in your head when you're a player, but then also occasionally when the player sleeps, comes out and you get to play as Fabian. So that's a really big release, and it's coming out on the 21st. So in a few days' time, and I'm really looking forward to see what everyone thinks about that.
Oh, mate, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much. Cheers.